I wanted to use the bathroom and was about to enter the door at 11 p.m. A woman who was closing the door said to me, "We are closed," because it was exactly 11 p.m. I said I wanted to use the bathroom, and she repeated the sentence, "We are closed." The tone was like I couldn't understand English, because seeing there were customers inside, I told her, "I just want to go to the bathroom." She glared at me and repeated the sentence, "We are closed." It was a pity that I met a very mean person. I don't know if all the employees inside are like this.
Is there some sort of rule I don't know about that if you need to use the bathroom, you're excused from closing times? And listen, if a store is closing at 11 p.m., it usually means that they're shutting the doors from anyone new entering the store. It's pretty normal for closing time there to be a couple people still checking out. The fact that you wanted to bother them during closing time and you weren't even going to be a paying customer speaks a lot about your entitlement.
We ordered a book online and received an email that it was ready for pickup. We arrived 3 minutes after closing time, and the employee at the door refused to step inside and retrieve the book, which was prepaid. Technically, we were 3 minutes past closing time, but has customer service disappeared in this country? I think it has, and this saddens me.
Why would you state this publicly? You're clearly in the wrong, and yet you feel the need to publicly go, "Hey everybody, look how wrong I was."
Delicious. I used vegan chorizo, which tastes just like regular chorizo, but does not involve highly intelligent animals being trapped inside a cage and then burned from the inside out with toxic gas before finally dying in agony. And the whole family licked their plates clean. Thanks.
And this is what you call a backhanded compliment? It sounds like they're saying something nice. Oh, it was delicious. But why was it delicious?
Because I'm so much more of a better person than you, because I didn't murder an animal.
I think most people don't really have a problem if you want to be vegan. But if you're going to leave reviews that have these backhanded comments that have to say how much of a better person you are because you're vegan, all it does is just push people further away from your ideology.
Went to Plant today to get a drink with the friends. I had a vape and didn't realize it was not allowed. The bartender came to our table, blue hair, short and female, in a very aggressive manner, and said, "If you vape again, I will kick you out." I had no problem with what she said, but her manner was so rude and unprofessional. Definitely lacking people skills. It's not what you say, but how you say it. Drinks were great though. Her, not so much.
Reply from the business owner. "Hey blank, appreciate you coming by, and glad the drinks hit the mark. As for the vape thing, yeah, we're still enforcing that super obscure California law from 1995 that says no smoking or vaping indoors. Wild, right? Believe it or not, we have to remind people constantly. So I totally understand if the delivery came off sharper than ideal. That's something we'll work on." You know, it's cool that the business owner actually owned up to the fact that, yeah, maybe we were a bit harsh in how we came across. But you were the one breaking the law. If you want to vape, that is your own health choice. But if you do it in a space that impacts other people, then you're making a health choice for other people and their bodies, and that's not okay.
Worst barber ever. I brought my kids to this barber to give them one last try. Terrible cutting hair and very unprofessional. And the owners are rude. Don't take your kids to this barber.
I'm guessing you are the parent that crowded the barber and kept getting in the way, kept pushing your son's hair around while the barber was trying to cut it. When the barber asked you if you'd like to do the haircut, you acted surprised, and the barber explained to you that you were in the way and he'd show you the haircut and would ask you if you wanted something different after he was done. You got mad and took the cape off your son, and you said, "You got this." The barber did not charge you for the partial haircut, and you threatened to report him. Then you asked who the manager was, and I responded, "The three of us," and pointed to the other two owners. You did not make any complaint to us, nor were we rude to you. I seriously doubt you would appreciate someone hovering over your shoulder, getting in your way, and interfering with you trying to do your job. Hopefully, you will be more respectful to the next barber you go to. Your son was wonderfully behaved, and he is very welcome back in our shop if you stay in the car. Oh man, that parent sounds like a complete control freak. The barber is a professional. That's what you're paying them to do their job, to cut the hair. And yeah, if you don't like what they're doing, like he said, let me know after I've done it and we'll fix something up. The fact that you're hovering over them and messing with their hair while they're trying to cut it, you're literally interfering with their job. They're not going to be able to do the best job possible if you're messing with their work.
This item was shipped in a plastic bag, not a half-inch larger than the tights themselves. Nothing protecting the hose, and when packaging was opened at the top, it snagged the hose. When contact was made, the seller said it was not her fault. Awful packaging, not one indication to open with care, as even worse customer service.
Response: you wrote to us very aggressively and said you ripped the item when opening the package with a letter opener. We don't have control on how you choose to open your packages. Hopefully, you're a little more careful in the future. This item was gift wrapped in tissue paper, taped shut, and mailed in a plastic mailing bag. Very standard to all packages I send or have ever received. Alright, why do you need a letter opener for a plastic bag? Isn't that something you just grab each end and just pop it open? A letter opener is for a letter, right? An envelope. You slide in the top, you just tear the top of the paper and so it doesn't do any damage to anything inside. To pierce a plastic bag is probably going to tear whatever is inside it.
Went this AM and was greeted by staff when I opened the door. As I was opening the door, I noticed sign said, "Sorry, not open." I said, "Are you closed?" He replied, "No, we're only open for pickups right now. We don't open till 10. Said, "Thank you," turned around, walked away, checked the time, and it was 9:47. Wow. If I was trying to start a business, I don't think I would let 13 minutes stop me from a sale and turn a customer away. I'm all about keeping it local. Wish him well.
Nice of them to share their worldly wisdom. If they were running a business, they wouldn't turn themselves away. Not like they would have any idea of what it would mean to actually run the logistics of having a business. But thanks for your opinion that only really impacts you.
Unfortunately, I can't say if the food here is good or not. If a restaurant smoked meat house that closes by 7 p.m. most days and 5 p.m. on Sundays can't at least be friendly about the fact that they keep short hours, that's too bad. The first time I rushed there and get there 4:58 on Sunday, I was told they were closed, but the front door wasn't locked yet. It just seems like they were uninterested in serving me.
Yeah, I wonder why.
It left me with an ugly feeling in my mouth. So although I have not actually tried any food here, the only flavor in my mouth after my first visit was very ugly. Sorry, not sorry.
Unfortunately, I can't post a picture, but I just checked my security camera and you walked in the door at 5:08, 8 minutes after we closed. Sorry we were not friendly enough for you, but it's Super Bowl Sunday and we just had a crazy busy day and wanted to go watch the game with our friends and family. Maybe check our hours on Google next time, since you're clearly capable of Googling us. Okay, if I was to describe a bad taste in my mouth, I don't think I would use the word ugly. Isn't ugly for something you see? Normally people use a word like disgusting or gross. Anyway, how nice of it is of them to go online and leave a 1-star review for somewhere they haven't actually been to because they had to lie about being there 2 minutes before closing time when it was actually 8 minutes after. Even if it was 2 minutes before closing time, that's cutting it really close. They have to be pretty generous to be like, yeah, we can still serve you. It's that borderline, maybe they will, maybe they won't serve you.
My friend Dave from Canterbury recently visited and said to stay well clear. Apparently the cats are asleep and not providing any entertainment. These animals should sleep at night and be kept awake during the day for the customer's pleasure.
Okay, if you're at some sort of cat cafe or whatever this is, you're there to see real, live, living cats. These aren't robots. You can't just program them to, at particular times, do particular things. If a cat's gonna sleep, a cat's gonna sleep. What you expect to, like whip him or something? Like, hey, wake up, cat.
Worst thing ever happened to me. The manager had my room searched by police officers. I have never been in this area, yet for some reason, I don't know what, my personal information and more info is in the hands of workers, and the police are told by the manager of the hotel that they have seen stolen property and powder in my room. And when they come, the manager lets them in my room, and with no warrants or any proof of the order, I'm appalled of the behavior of the company and stuff. And I'll be waiting on my properties to be returned or replaced for what was taken.
The response: hotel guest was attempting to extend stay, however did not come back until 12:55, an hour later from checkout with no contact. Per our hotel process, the items were being bagged up, as guests never came back to extend. During the process of bagging up, the items there were clear signs of drug use and open drugs in the room. Because of the safety of staff, police were contacted as we cannot dispose of illegal narcotics. Guest came back to attempt to extend their stay, and police officers arrested the guest. Items were tossed as they were deemed abandoned, and police took narcotics to dispose of them or have as evidence. Oh boy. Okay, you can't get much worse than this. You're breaking the law on their private property, and then when you try to extend your stay by just abandoning all your stuff in the room, why are you surprised that they're going to bag up and remove the items? And when you say we want all of your possessions back, are you including the illegal things that the police now have? This was just a dumb move in so many ways.
Very disappointing. Had a cup of coffee, asked the girl to top up. When it was 3/4 cup, she doubled the price, paid USD 4. I was staying there for 3 days, eating there for 3 days. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. She could have told me top up is extra before top up. Very disappointed about this place. I liked the hostel, but restaurant, not much.
Hi Blank, let's review the facts. You checked in last night at 6:22 p.m. You did not dine with us. You were here a total of 14 hours. This morning you sat for an hour and had 4 coffees and no breakfast. We offer free refills with purchase of breakfast, which is clearly stated on the menu. This can also be verified by camera and copy of your bill. You also didn't tip. You were charged for 2 coffees instead of 4 because the waitress was being nice. Then you proceeded to tell my manager your favorite thing to do is post bad reviews on small businesses, which is apparent since a quick look at your profile shows every review you give is 1 star. Please get a life. One that isn't revolved around leaving false reviews for hard-working people. The truth always comes out, doesn't it? It's sad that the waitress was actually being nice and could have charged double, all 4 cups of coffee, but only charged 2, and yet she's getting punished for that because he couldn't be bothered to have actually read the sign that says you need to purchase breakfast in order to get the free refills.
Went to blank, pick up and save. 70 years old, and don't know how to use phone on coupons. Soda was $9.99. If you don't have a coupons, it's $15.99. Dollars more I lost out at $18 just on soda alone. I'm old.
Yeah.
You can't give me what's on sale and read fine print on bottom? Never ever going back. Take your coupons and shove up your butt. That's a deal for you, not happy camper. Instead, helping older people. Screw 'em. Goodbye forever.
Oh, isn't it funny that a 70-year-old on a phone can also sound like a 7-year-old on a phone? On arrival, everything seemed great. They gave us champagne and took our bags to the room. Days 1 to 3 were wonderful. I'll start off with the positives. They decorated our room for our anniversary with balloons and a door poster, which was very thoughtful. Wait staff was very nice. Non-alcoholic drinks taste wonderful. Great view at Infinity Pool. Comfortable pool lounge chairs. Make sure to get there around 9 a.m. if you want an umbrella. And hotel overall was clean. Hotel workers are nice and kind. Negatives. On day 4, in the middle of a tennis match, I got diarrhea. Imagine my embarrassment at stopping the match, clutching my bottom to confirm that yes, I have you-know-what in my shorts. And then having to ask my husband for his shirt to tie around my waist while I walk all the way back to my room, sweaty and with my shorts full of you-know-what. I spent my last days sick, constantly running to the toilet with non-stop diarrhea and stomach pains. My husband also has diarrhea and didn't feel well, but not to the extent that I have. I'd also like to point out that I am healthy, 24-year-old, size 2, don't eat a lot. avoided fruits and veggies because of developing country pesticide use, and had one alcoholic drink by accident the first day, all week. I think my illness is food related. I was semi-grossed out by the fact that the World Market restaurant is an open-air buffet, so the food is exposed to bugs. On my last day, it was raining, and in Building 4, on the 3rd floor to the 2nd floor, I slipped and fell hard all the way down the stairs. I burst into uncontrollable tears, mixed with a few choice words, and within moments, the sweetest American woman ran to my side and helped me get up. At this point, I am A, sick, B, dehydrated, and C, in terrible pain. If the woman who helped me is reading this, thank you, thank you, thank you. You were a godsend and amazing. She came running the moment it happened, while my husband looked confused about what was happening. To the hotel. Shame on you for not putting no-slip strips in your steps when you know it rains all the time in your climate. And there are leaks in the roof that produce puddles of water on the steps. In America, everyone has no-slip steps because it's the law, and it's common sense when it comes to safety. I've traveled extensively. Panama, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Hawaii, Virgin Islands, Bahamas, etc. and never came home as sick as I am. I am not happy, not relaxed, and my foot is in a great deal of pain. Be wary if you're an older traveler. For your safety, stay on the 1st floor. As I write this review, I am in pain. I'm lying in my bed, having been home one day and have diarrhea still. My foot, wrist, back are in a great deal of pain. I took off an extra day of work to relax, not lie in bed sick. I'll be seeing the doctor because I can't really walk, and I think I shattered my foot.
Well, oh, the title really sums it up. Diarrhea and fell downstairs. I mean, that's the TLDR version.
Can I just highlight this, avoid fruits and vegetables because of developing country pesticide use? So what are you eating instead? If you're eating processed food, what do you think that food is made out of? The same stuff from the countryside that is using pesticides. So it's kind of unavoidable, isn't it? If you said you had organic or something, yeah, sure, okay, maybe you're avoiding it that way, but that's a really weird point to put in there, and I'm not sure how that has anything to do with the fact that you got diarrhea. The same with being size 2. Like, do skinnier people somehow not get diarrhea? Let's say worst case scenario, it was food poisoning from the open air buffet exposed to bugs. Is it really the hotel's fault that you crapped your pants while playing tennis?